Miss Mohini ma'am, Miss Mohini Palchowdhury. She is a global head of people and culture at Quantify with over 15 years of experience, of strategic HR experience. She has been pivotal in scaling Quantify's HR operations across India, UK and Netherlands, building people-first culture and performance frameworks. Under her leadership and guidance, the company introduced policies like flexi work to reduce proximity bias and enhance employee experience. We all welcome you, ma'am, to present your valuable insights on topic the Human AI Partnership, redefining skills, work and education. Please, everyone, let's have a huge round of applause for ma'am.
Hello everybody, am I audible and clear? So since morning, I observed two things. One is everybody was talking about AI, so I don't want to call it the buzzword anymore, it's already buzzing. And the second thing is when academicians, that's not enabled by AI. So when academicians are sitting across the table, they are pretty much like students. I can hear the buzzing before somebody is coming up and going in. So today, I can see that you all are having fun. I think Dr. Buddha at the start said, not Dr. Buddha, I think Sudhakar sir said, you guys are corporates today. Quantify as an organization, at any given point in time, 50% of our organization comes from campus. So 50% of the company's first job is quantified, and I strongly believe that 𝐿SCOM officers and professors are actually a part of our organization and are a very, very important part to our future. So today what I thought is, a lot of you all have spoken about how you all are adopting AI. It's fantastic to see what the Kalgotias are doing. It's music to our ears. And we know that there are ready folks who can work in the world of AI. We are an AI-first digital engineering organization. Started in 2013. Google was one of our first cloud partners. When they had only 5, Quantify was one of them. We have now consecutively won 7 times the Best Partner Award, after which we said, if we sponsor the award, don't keep giving it to us. So that's briefly about the organization, and I'll keep talking about what we do. I know a lot of your students are probably with us, but today I want to focus on the partnership between AI and humans, and a lot of 𝐿SCOM officers have been honest. They've said, ma'am, placements have not been great last year. Some said, no, we did fantastic. And then every HR that I meet keeps saying, yeah, training cost कैसे कम करना है? How do we reduce the training cost? And why are we going on training when they are learning for 4 years? So I just wanted to evaluate how do we get there. And I've tried to logically reason this out. I know that you all are staring at this picture. Can anyone tell me what do you see here? No? Sorry? There's a horsepower who's meeting the horse, right? This is New York, and I thought, ma'am, you will also say it's a woman driver. So this is New York, and cars were just launched. Everyone trusted the horse carriage, right? Look at how amazed they're looking at the car. No one trusted the car. What do you think happened in the future? So this is human and machine partnership, what we saw there. Now it is human and AI partnership. Today, AI is the car, and human is the horse staring at the AI. Is it going to kill me, take me over, what's happening, right? So that's... Now, did the horse rider lose his job? Anyone wants to think about, did the rider lose his job? I can see some of you are nodding, no, he didn't lose his job. Yes?
He must have
new skill sets and learn to drive. That's what we can hope for, right? Otherwise, he would have lost his job. He learned the new skill. Can you go back, please? So this is what was needed, right? Because everything very soon, in a span of 2 years, and this is again a photograph from New York, it got completely replaced by cars, and there's a car traffic. You don't see a single horse on the road anymore. This is exactly the phase that we are in right now, where AI is taking over. There are 5,000 generative AI tools which are right now operational, and we are saying that's enough. Let's take a pause because we don't know how to merge and use them. We are getting mandates as HR saying agentic should be a part of your system as employees. Accenture has launched 40 agentic as their employees. It's a mandate. Everybody has to use it. So has Quantify. We have our own agentic group that we have to use as a mandate going forward. But business was evolving, and this is a proper crowd here. Some very interesting organizations here. Anyone remembers what Amazon started selling? What was Amazon selling in the start? Books. What was Netflix?
DVD,
cassettes, right? So now, those were predictable businesses. They are like the white cow. When you pass on, you don't look at white cows because you know the cow can be white, black, or brown. The minute you see a purple cow, you will start staring at it. And that's the one philosophy that our co-founders believed in. That back in 2013, we wanted to be the purple cow. That everybody passes, we give an introduction, and they ask us, who are you, what do you do, this is magic. That's evolution. And now, if you look at the current organizations, and even everybody's in scale who's speaking here today, we are all purple. Purple is a must-have. And everybody needs to adapt to this shape because it's become a must-have. If you're not differentiated, you have no business. Now, why am I speaking about it? And what does it mean for us? It means everybody who is in campus and as educators, you will have to shift their skill so that they are attractive and they can work in the corporate house system. You see skills here. How many of you are still training on these skills? Code writing at scale, syntax memorization, debugging, algorithm implementation, script related. Better? So how many of us are already training in these skills? Everybody, right? This is still how your syllabus looks. Yes, you are reading. Oops, but we don't need the first one. We don't need the second one. The third. You know, I can do this to everybody's curriculum in the room. And we have done this. So here is the gap. What you are training them on, there's an agent who can already do this. So what do you need to start training them on? The right side or the left side? Right. That's it. There's your new curriculum on the screen. A short one. You know, if you do this research, you don't have to do it. You have to just ask ChatGPT. Put your curriculum in. We can lend you Bionic, which is our tool, and it will tell you, hey, this is how you need to evolve moving forward. So what you see here in agentic, that's the first part. That's what, massively adopted in India. That's what ChatGPT does. You ask a question, it produces a response. Pretty much how we were using Google, we now ask ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT amalgamates it, gives you everything that it knows, it summarizes it for you, puts it in a table. But is that the work saying us as in quantify, the answer is no. We moved on to doing the second work back in 2023. ChatGPT was launched in 2022. Bionic, which is ours, we launched it in March 2023. And we moved on to do agentic workflows. We had something called Codera. Codera was coding for us. So in 2022, the job descriptions of Quantify already called out saying, do you know prompt engineering? If you don't, we'll teach you. But the expectation is that you should know prompt engineering. Today what we do is the third stage. And I will use a very simplified method to help you understand this. Some of us in this room have executive assistants. They take care of our emails, they plan our calendar, they manage our travel. We walk and talk with them because we need our day-to-day activities to be reduced. That's the third part. Actually, the agent runs my emails. It tells me the emails that I should answer. It's unique. Something I would have given and responded before. It keeps the responses ready for me. And I just check and I click tick. And the others and says, don't worry, I have opened it for you. So now that's the third part. And that's where we have evolved. Now to go there, and if 82% organizations are going to adopt AI, imagine what's going to happen to the students if they don't know. So what's happening in the industry right now? What's left for us to do? We are left to solve problems by giving the right prompt. We have to manage ethics and bias. It is very important that we look at cross-disciplinary. And lastly, agentic design. Now this is the part which is going to become most important for kids who are intelligently applying. Because agentic designing will still need immense amount of human intervention. And the last part is my all-time favorite, creativity and critical validation. Okay? So knowing if AI is right or wrong. And I have a very interesting example for this one. My daughter is 9. They were asked to do an elocution in school. Okay? And my biggest fear was that all parents is going to use ChatGPT. And they're all going to demonstrate and write poems through ChatGPT. That's the natural thing to do, right? Here's the thing, my daughter comes back. She says, I have qualified. I stood first. I have a second round. But Mama, something very interesting happened. And I said, what? Everyone spoke the same lines. We had the same poem. But the question is, does ChatGPT generate the same response? It does not. The parents have given the same prompt. And hence the same answer has come through. So did I know this poem? Am I an author? Did I write it for her? No, I used ChatGPT too. But she had something different because we were thinking, we were evaluating, and then we were prompting. And that is what prompt engineering is. So now to drive that creativity, what are the roles that we are going to see tomorrow? I'm going to cross out tomorrow and say today, in 6 months' time, Quantify is going through a massive change. We are introducing something called agentic AI competency. It means we will, each of us, right, even in the HR department, my department, I'm expected to deploy 5 agents. Now, am I going to take away jobs from the team members that I already have? The answer to that is no, I'm not here to take away the jobs, but I will have to reskill them to be able to use that AI. And for all of these roles which are going to come up, what stands out for me is soft skill engineering. What does it mean? If they're going to prompt effectively, they're going to critically evaluate. And if they're going to do systematic thinking, they all need, unfortunately, they need one language. Can someone tell me which is the language we have to do that? think that the organizations are looking for is not just the one who types the right English, but also the one who is able to deliver it to the customer and see it to the finish line. We don't want project managers anymore, we want project engineers who are techies who can talk and see it to the finish line. So I don't want to sound like Vidya Bharat, but communication is the key. Can you hear me now better? So if they can communicate, we are not looking at folks who are going to be actors and mind those names of the world with excellent English. The English can have all the mother tongue influence. It's just critical thinking. So imagine combining an Anuvadini for the person to say it in their mother tongue, converting that to English and giving the prompt. That is what a soft skill engineer will be expected to do. How do they grow? So who is it that we will take ahead and grow with us? What you see here is the old model, right? I mean, this is the model that I grew up in. You join, you slog, you learn skills, you even make notes, and then you imagine one day you will become the CEO. What it meant for the young talent is they will learn to do and we will delegate. Unless we delegate, they don't learn to do. Now this model worked in our favor for the longest time. What's happening today is every leader has an agentic mesh. At least the organizations where you want your students to get in, this is their model. The leader first has an agent, and the old model of growth is broken down. Now if that is happening, and we are a services organization, right? We still get our money from the West. It's a fortunate or unfortunate part. I want to believe that I am contributing to the GDP of India, so it's good. Under that circumstance, if they are the client, do they want freshers? Do they want to train anymore? And there's your answer. The ones who honestly told me, ma'am, placements are not looking as bright as it used to. The answer is we are no longer getting paid to train, groom and move upwards, because this is how the pyramid has changed. The pyramid used to be easy, right? It's flat, broad at the bottom and then it scales up. That's no longer the case. Every client we meet, they say, look, this is the pyramid. Can you source and can you give us people in the between? And we are going to pay for them. So what are they looking for? They're looking for ready, calm, smart resources who can get the job done, who are experienced. The question I have today for you all is how can you ensure that before your students are coming out of campuses, they're experienced enough for us to go back and say that they're smart, they're ready, and they're experienced. Don't worry, we will build them from day one. So here's the gap. This is the old pyramid, and based on how you skill, you can bridge this if you change the curriculum and you work with industry during the time that they are with you. You see this quantify analytics degree, I'll speak a little bit about it. Some of the stuff that we are trying to do as an organization. We are trying to influence policy makers. We want to mandate internships, not 6 months, not 1 year. We are saying give us the students from year 2. Previously, internships had a humongous value, right? I mean, 30,000 is the basic. I have heard of internships getting paid 1 lakh. And I know it still happens. But can everybody do it for the students? The answer is no. So for those who can't, allow them to take kids for free and teach them. And that way, you are answering their cost problem. Your funding should be approval based. One of my favorites is that ensure that your career development center, I know a lot of TPOs are sitting in the room, they are not cost, they are the actual people who make the money now for you. So give them more empowerment. The reason you see quantify analytics degree here, this is
And then by the time they are graduating in their 4th year, they're already a part of a project. Their managers love them. All we do is we ask the question, hey, do you want the student? What should I tell the college? And the manager immediately says, don't just say I want them, tell them they are promoted. Because this guy has worked with me for 3 years and he's fantastic and the client knows him. So the client does not look at them as interns, they look at them as resources who's worked for me and who knows me, and the person is already smart because they worked in our environment. So if we can shift to that model, I think we can reimagine the future. And one other thing I would like to point out is soft skill. You can deploy AI to train it. You can do more industry connects to train the students. And I repeat, I am not talking about mother tongue influence, but it's just how we communicate and what we see and what we prompt is going to become very, very critical. So that's the end. Co-author with AI. We did a project with Johns Hopkins, and we had 2 sets of doctors. One set said, I am not going to operate using AI. They were in Johns Hopkins, and they had to operate someone in Wisconsin. And another doctor said, I will do it. We waited for 1 year for one doctor to say, I will do it. This is back in 2020. And 2020 is when COVID is also happening in the US. The doctor who said, I will do it, today leads all efforts of medicinal AI for Johns Hopkins. We know him very well, and the operation was very, very successful. So this was interstate operation, right? So the doctor is a very noble profession, just like you all, teachers. Who adopts AI is going to stand. The doctor who's refused to adopt AI is not going to stand. So someone raised the question here that, is it AI versus humans? It is actually humans versus humans. Which is the human who's going to stand out and adapt and start driving the car. I take a pause here. I think there was a lot of commotion in between, so if there's any question, I'm more than happy to answer. I think the tradition is no questions. Alright, thank you.